On August 14, 2005, Helios Flight 522 prepared to fly from Larnaca to Athens. The flight took off at 9:07 in the morning with a total of 121 people on board, including 115 passengers and 6 crew members. The pilot in command was German pilot Hans-Jürgen Merten, who possessed 16,900 hours of total flight experience. The co-pilot was Pampos Charalambous, who possessed 7,459 hours of total flight experience. 15 minutes after takeoff, the plane reached an altitude of 12,040 feet. And just as the plane reached this altitude, suddenly a warning alarm began to sound. The pilot attempted to open the ATC channel, but a sudden and terrifying alarm blared throughout the cockpit, alerting the control room. The pilot could not hear the ATC, and at the same time, the master caution alarm sounded because the plane's systems overheated. They could not understand what was happening, and the passengers panicked at the sound of the alarm while the crew tried to calm them. Oxygen masks deployed automatically as they struggled to breathe, and at that moment, the plane was flying at 18,000 feet. He tried repeatedly to contact the control room, but the ATC could not understand him, and soon contact was lost. They failed to reconnect, and the ATC tried many times to reach the plane, which was climbing higher toward Athens. The plane took time to reach, meaning the plane was scheduled to reach Athens at 10:45. It took off at 9:30 and reached 34,000 feet. At 9:35, it reached the Athens Flight Information Region. Between 10:12 and 10:50, Athens Air Control tried repeatedly to contact the plane, but they could not reach it. It was 10:45. The plane was supposed to land at Athens airport then, but there was no sign of it. Thinking something terrible happened, Athens ATC sent 2 F-16 fighter jets to find it. After some time, they found the plane. A jet flew close. The pilot saw a person in the co-pilot seat and the main pilot unconscious. The jets followed from behind. They looked through the windows, but none of the passengers reacted to them. The passengers did not react. At 11:59, the fighter pilot sees a man walking from the cabin into the cockpit, sitting in the pilot's seat for a moment. The fighter pilot keeps signaling, and the man tries to say something to the pilots, but he cannot speak at all for 1 minute. A minute later, the left engine dies and the plane falls. At 12, the right engine dies too. The man loses control. At 12:04, it crashes 4 kilometers from Athens, killing everyone. Everyone dies. Imagine the pilots watching 121 people die. How did they feel? They were helpless. The crash made headlines and everyone knew no rescue was possible. It ended. The bodies were removed from the plane, but after the autopsy, researchers realized they had died long before the crash. Questions remain. If the pilot was dead, who flew the plane for 2 hours? As mentioned, someone was seen entering the cockpit. It was flight attendant Andreas. Before the crash, Andreas tried contacting Athens Control, repeating Mayday 5 times.
Mayday. Flight 5.
Andreas did not have the experience required to control a Boeing plane, yet he still managed to steer it toward an unpopulated area. Experts found the engine fuel ran out when the plane tilted. Investigators later found the cause. They saw a button on the panel. This specific pressurized button is used to control the airflow inside the plane, which the engines regulate bit by bit. Outside air is brought into the plane to ensure there is no oxygen shortage, and this pressurized button is kept in automatic mode. If it is set to manual, the captain and co-pilot must monitor it. To understand why, we must look at routine maintenance. During routine service, the plane is checked thoroughly, but sometimes the pressurized button is left in manual mode. During takeoff, the pilots fail to check the button, leaving it in manual mode, which affects the plane. Oxygen levels drop, passengers get headaches, and pilots miss the alarm. Causing pressure loss. A critical lack of oxygen inside the cabin caused the pilots to slowly lose consciousness, while oxygen masks deployed automatically for the passengers, they did not drop in the cockpit, leading everyone on board to eventually pass out because the masks only provided 12 minutes of oxygen. Only one flight attendant named Andreas stayed conscious, as he was a skilled scuba diver who could hold his breath for a long time. He desperately tried to land the plane, but he failed, and the aircraft crashed, killing everyone on board. 15 months later, Athens airport released a report confirming the plane was on autopilot. Servicemen left it in manual and pilots missed it. If they had set it to auto, this tragedy might not have occurred. Share if you liked the video.